Thanks for joining us for another episode of Battle for the Belt. Today I'm with Dr. Jim Ippolito. He is new to the state of Ohio, not new to soil science, but new to the state of Ohio. Jim, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Jim Ippolito. I'm a professor of soil health and soil fertility in the School of Environment and Natural Resources at Ohio State University. And my background is in soil quality, soil health, soil fertility, environmental quality. I've been working in this arena for, over 30 years.
Well, welcome to the state of Ohio. It's glad to have you here. So today we're going to talk about soil fertility and issues that have popped up in the state this year. Early on in the growing season, we had some really dry weather, and I was getting a lot of pictures that looked like potassium deficiencies in both corn and soybean. Jim, can you talk a little bit about the interaction of dry weather and potassium?
Sure. So in soils, for potassium to be delivered to plant roots, it's through a process called diffusion. And that occurs when water is present. And when water is not present in the soil, diffusion does not occur. And so potassium is not delivered to the plant roots. And this process occurs over only 1 to 2 centimeters per growing season. So when soils are really dry, plants don't see potassium within the soil itself.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like once it started raining, I saw some of those deficiencies fade away.
Exactly. This is exactly what happens when water is present and diffusion can occur to release potassium from locations in the soil, like associated with clays or cation exchange sites. That potassium will diffuse through the water to the plant root. And to be honest with you, this actually occurs not only in fields, but it occurs in some of my houseplants when I don't water them enough.
Mm-hmm. Another hot topic right now, soybeans are at that R3, R4, R5 growth stage. A lot of farmers are interested in foliar applications of micronutrients. Can you talk a little bit about how plants get micronutrients through their leaves?
Sure. If you apply a foliar application of a micronutrient or potassium or what have you, those nutrients are taken up by plant leaves through the stomates, or the openings on the underside of the leaves. And those stomates need to be open in order for those nutrients to be taken up and absorbed by the plant or the plant leaf itself. And so if you think about what happens when plants are happy or healthy or not stressed, those stomates open and close regularly, unlike when plants are stressed. And so this is why we want our plants to be healthy and, I guess, essentially happy in the field to allow for nutrient uptake by those stomates.
Mm-hmm. So we've done some foliar fertilizer work in Ohio and other states across the U.S. Recently, we just published a paper that looked at response of soybean to foliar fertilizer applications, 16 states, 46 different environments, and basically no yield response, especially in the state of Ohio. We don't see much response to foliar micronutrient application. Occasionally, we do see it with manganese. We have some soils with high pH, maybe droughty soils that have a manganese response. But unless we see a visual deficiency symptom of interveinal chlorosis, not a whole lot of yield response. So Jim, if someone has a concern about a nutrient deficiency, what would you recommend? What steps should they take to figure it out in their field?
Yeah, that's a great question. So to figure it out in your field, certainly taking plant tissue tests at key strategic times before, certainly when you observe a deficiency, but taking soil samples to a proper depth and having those analyzed for plant available nutrients, including macro and micro nutrients, is key. And to do that at any given time throughout a growing season is paramount for maintaining a healthy crop.
Mm-hmm. And one that I feel like is missing sometimes when people are looking at nutrient deficiency is pH. So what is the role of soil pH in nutrient deficiencies?
pH plays a foundational role in nutrient sufficiencies and deficiencies. Most of us in the soils realm know that. Mm-hmm. And with micronutrients, that's no exception. For example, we typically see nutrient deficiencies with micronutrients as pH increases well above pH 7, 7.5. We tend to see more often than not zinc and iron deficiencies in our soils if pH values are above about 7.5 to 8.
So make sure if you're pulling soil samples and you're looking at micronutrient or macronutrient deficiencies, keeping an eye on soil pH is really important. So battle for the belt. really the underlying question here is what crop should be planted first, corn or soybean? And I'm asking everybody, I'm asking everyone if they're team corn or team soybean. So are you team corn or team soybean?
I think I'm going to be team corn this round.
Oh, no.
No, she said corn. Okay.